like for the show.
Good Friday afternoon. This is the Dolores Reyes Show. Talk to me on E Life Media Network. I am here with my co host, Alice Butler Short, and I'm Dolores Reyes, the host of the Dolores Reyes Show. So, Alice, why don't you say hello to the audience?
Yes, audience, I'm delighted to be here on the sunny afternoon in the sunshine and the light, and I hope you're all walking in the light.
Okay, great. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. We've had the most unusual week. The Virginia governor primaries were held earlier this week. Several Republican congressmen and their staff were shot by a deranged left wing Bernie Sanders supporter. The president signed an executive order for firms to develop an apprenticeship program for Americans. The special prosecutor has only hired Democrats on his staff to investigate the Russia election hoax made up by the left because they lost the election. So let's get started. Alice, please read the first two questions for discussion.
What happened in the Virginia primaries? Let's talk about the winners and the inside scope on the Corey Stewart campaign. How do you feel the left should behave now that they have incited one of their supporters to shoot defenseless congressmen in a Virginia park? Let's discuss.
Should the president fire the special prosecutor and why? What does the president executive order for apprenticeship programs do and how does it benefit Americans? Okay, I'm going to start this. Let's hope this is not the shot that will start a real civil war in America. The left is so bent on trying to impeach our wonderful president, they have not thought through the consequences if this happens. Just what do they think his supporters will do? Sit quietly by and say or do nothing? It could get very, very ugly. We need reasonable adults in the room to think this through. Our democracy is like fine glass. It can crack or break easily. Then what? And let me just tell you this. There was this wonderful baseball game yesterday. Alice, you know all about
Yes,
this.
I know.
That the Congress from the Republican and Democratic side have been playing this baseball game for many, many, many years. I don't quite remember the date. Alice, do you remember the date?
No, I don't remember the date, but it's many years and
Yeah.
it's to raise funds for some wonderful charities.
Absolutely, a wonderful charity. So we're thinking this is all going to be, this incident that happened in Virginia, it's going to kind of change things. We're going to get a little bit better. Maybe we'll come a teeny bit closer together. I mean, I know it takes baby steps to get from point A to B, but maybe this will be the first baby step. But guess what happened last night? According to Breitbart, there were Democrat staffers booing the president when he came on the Electrotron and gave his speech. So I don't know what mode that they are in, and I'm just a little bit shocked and surprised by it. Alice, but do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts. This is where I always talk about intersecting our faith with our politics. And people really need to calm down, stop, and think of the consequences to our country.
Absolutely.
This is not about personalities. And I am so very, very ashamed of our Senator Tim Kaine, who called for blood on the streets some months ago.
Oh, boy.
He should retract that statement and apologize not only to his constituents but to the entire country. You are a disgrace, Senator Kaine.
Oh my goodness. A climate of violence is swirling around the president. Various performers, including Snoop Dogg, Kathy Griffin, and a production of Julius Caesar, feature a Trump-like Caesar as a tyrant deserving to be killed. There has been about 15 significant incidents which celebrities depict violence against the president and the GOP. The left has a Facebook page called Terminate the Republican Party, boasting 13,000 followers. Now, Bernie Marcus, co-founder of Home Depot, says he's worried about the life of the President of the United States because of the violent speak happening in our country today. It is the left that is telling its voters and followers the Republican Party and the President are racist, that Republicans hate globalization, refugees, immigration, health care, climate change, and even hate the planet. It is their people that want a one-party government. It is the left that is trying to silence the voices of the Republican Party and those who support the party. It is the left-wing celebrities have acted scenes killing, trying to kill our president or enacting scenes for killing the president. It is their actions and rhetoric that has brought us to the point of violence this week. They are the ones that has refused to work with the Republicans in Congress and the president and call off their main street media attack lapdogs to stop the violence. It is the Democratic Party that needs to search their soul. They are the ones in need of prayer. They are the ones that are angry at being rejected by the American voter. It is the left that needs to change. What do you think?
Absolutely. And that is the party that constantly preaches tolerance and is the most intolerant to anyone or anything that doesn't align with their thoughts and their views. That is not the party of freedom of speech. Look what's happening in our colleges all over the country when conservative speakers are shut out and sometimes attacked and abused. So people need to wake up. And it's the people on the street, it's you people watching this show who have to make the difference. This is why we feel the grassroots is so important. We are the people who speak for the people. The people up on the hill sometimes are in their own bubble, but we can make the difference. So you out there, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you can make a difference. If you search your soul, we each have to fix ourselves before we can fix anybody else.
Absolutely. Now listen, I want you to call in and give us your opinion. The number to call us on is 240-455-5934. So give us a call. I totally agree with Alice. I was thinking that this would be an opportunity that we could come together, not necessarily come together, but go one step at a time at understanding and trying to see how we feel, what it looks like from our side of the aisle, but we can't do it alone. We need a partner to talk with. We need a communications person on the other side of the aisle to kind of chime in and tell us what they're thinking. They're so busy attacking and inciting violence and everything else. I mean, protesting, and I mean, they are just unglued here. And I'm saying that if we want to try to save this country, and if we want to move forward with making America great again, we're going to have to be able to communicate with each other. We can't have two Americas. That's not going to work. So, this has been an experiment. Our founding fathers did a tremendous job of piecing together separate countries. Wasn't it that all the states were separate countries as opposed to states before they came up with the Declaration of Independence and all the other documentation to pull this country together? Am I right on that score?
Yes, I think you're right on that.
Absolutely. So I'm thinking that it's imperative, it's important that we at least try. Doesn't mean we're going to be successful the first time. We're going to have to do it over and over and over again. But I think it's important that we at least try to see if we can't find a common ground. Do you have any ideas of where common ground would be, Alice? I think I do.
Well, I think so. I think we have plenty of common ground. I think we all of us who are really serious about this great country that we live in, we all love it. We want the best for it. So we need to, and I'm talking now to Democrats, you need to go against the organized groups who are paid to go out there and cause this kind of mayhem. I'm not referring to the shooter this week, but there are many, many groups who are funded by George Soros, and George Soros is another name for the Clinton Foundation. Or close to it. And so these are the people who want power at any price.
Yes.
We need to be together thinking about what is good for this country. You know, there may be 10 things on the table and you may not agree with 5 of them, but that's fine. That's compromise. If we work together on the five that we agree on, we're doing something. But
Doing
if you're
something.
if you're opposing, and for no reason other than you hate the personality involved, then that is not going to help our country.
That's not for America. I want to say this. I think there is a place where we can start, and I think that's over in the Department of Justice and the criminal justice system. I know that there's a lot of people in this country, black, white, Latino, people from the Asian continent, that sometimes our judicial system is just not fair. And it has its issues and its problems. And I think that is a place where we can actually start. I think health is a place where we can start. I'm not saying the health care policy or program. I'm talking about health in general. Americans need to eat better. We need to appreciate food better. We need to understand our digestive systems. I do think that that is a place where we can find some common ground. And when you're sick, the hospital system, everybody can agree that we need to understand who is charging us for what operation. It's not the same. Hospital A has a different price and hospital B has a different price. It's not the same. We need to make sure that our doctors and nurses and our caregivers are actually qualified to do the job, and if they're not, they need to be removed off the floor. We know we need more nurses in hospitals and settings, and so therefore we need to start training people in order to be nurses and not get nurses from foreign countries that really haven't had the same level of training or kind of training that we've had. Some of them have never even seen our technology before, let alone not be able to speak the language. So those are some areas that we can agree on. We can start at those agreement points. What are you thinking?
Well, what I'm thinking is that, whether I eat a salad or a burger for lunch is not really going to help the country. The problem is just way, way bigger than that. I think we have to think about the Judeo-Christian values that this country started out with and go back to go back to our traditions. For
So
everyone.
Alice, are you asking the Muslims to go back to Judeo-Christian values?
No, but
Well, I'm saying
right.
this is
But
the,
what I'm saying is, and we could get into another big conversation about that. When you come to this country, you come here to be an American. So you come in here and you learn our traditions, our values, to be part of this great nation and what we stand for. So. While they may not know what our Judeo-Christian values are, they do have to study to become citizens, so they do know something about our Constitution and what we stand for, and that's where we all have to go back to.
Well, let me just say this. I agree with you to a certain point, but this is my thought. My thoughts are these. What's happening here, that is not what we were talking about. I think is good. I think we need to understand our Constitution, our Judeo-Christian values. But that is a part of contention. That is not a part for conciliation. That is that is just not a part for understanding that we're talking about starting an argument. Because even though they're thinking that Sharia law should be a part of the Constitution and our legal system, they're thinking that Judeo, oh my God, the first thing they hear is Jew. So they're not even thinking about trying to understand that construct.
That is true.
But I'm just saying this is a bone of contention. I'm trying to come up with where do we start with a neutral ground that's not a bone of contention. You know.
Well,
I
I think we could start by taking.
Where would you start? Where would you start?
Take the anger. Get rid of the anger. Get rid of the hatred. That doesn't benefit anyone. Have a logical conversation. I may not agree with you. I may totally disagree with you. I have many friends who are Democrats, and mostly don't talk politics.
Absolutely.
But we just agree to disagree. But there are many, many good people out there who are Democrats who do not want to see what is going on right now. So they need to hold their officials, their Congress people, accountable, because they are the voice for them on the Hill. And so when you have people like Senator Kaine calling for blood on the streets for President Trump, then whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you need to go after him. You need to go after him and tell him, stop, enough. This is not what America is all about.
But what has happened is there's a split in the Democratic Party. The in name only Democrats who are from the middle are diametrically opposed or opposing the radical wing of the party. What has happened is Van Johnson even said that Hillary Clinton had her nerve to talk about the Democratic Party. They felt as though she blew $1 billion on her horrible campaign. These are the words of the left, the radical left, like Elizabeth Warren and the Bernie Sanders followers. There's a big rift in the Democratic Party. They want violence in the street. That's why they're out there picketing and rioting and shooting and all those other things every single day. Ever since our president has been in office, they have had some sort of a picketing situation, even had scientists out there picketing. So I don't know. They need to try to pull their party together, and they need to try to work things out among themselves. There's a rift there, and it seems like the radical wing of the Democratic Party is taking over. What are you thinking?
Yes, I absolutely agree with you. And so when we say they won't do it because they have their agenda, and we know what it is.
Yeah.
It is violence, it is discontent, it is hatred. So it comes down to the grassroots Democrats. Is this what you want? Do you want a peaceful country where we can get along and not agree all the time? We Republicans were not happy for the 8 years before this president, but we did not go out creating this mayhem. No, we got to work and figured out how we would win, and in 2016, and that's what we did. And they should be focused on perhaps 2020 when we're going to beat them again.
Well, that's great, because one of the things that that Republicans are accused of, and I agree with it. We're too timid. We're not good at fighting back. These people are ready to scratch our faces, and here we are sitting there trying to offer them some grapes, and this isn't working. They are out for blood, and that's evident with the shooting. They're out for blood. They want our president removed from office by any means necessary, and they are willing to do whatever it takes. Anytime the president and founder of Home Depot is saying that he's afraid for the president and all of these other simulations, there's a subliminal message out there saying that they want somebody to harm Donald Trump. And so I don't know. The Democratic Party to me has gone off the edge. They had what they used to stand for is no longer applicable. It's evident by the fact that they lost the blue wall that they claimed they had. Everyday people aren't interested in the things that they want. Some of the things they want aren't good for Americans. And so why don't they start out with changing their policies? Why can't they change the way that they want things and understand that the everyman, the grassroots people of this country, don't want what they want? And the problem is they're trying to shove it down our throats whether we want it or not. And that's very dictatorial to me. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't want it. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that yes, they may fight in this way, but we fight too. We just fight a different way. And I always encourage people to, we got to fight smart. And I am not afraid.
Me either.
I am not afraid because perfect love casts out all fear. That's what we're told in the scripture. And that means that we must keep our own spirit clear and clean and focused. And I am not afraid for the president. I believe that he was put in office at this particular time by God to serve this country, perhaps to save this country. He is protected. So I do not go along with, oh my gosh, no, we must pray because this might happen or that might happen. Yeah, we pray with thanksgiving that God is with him, that the angels are surrounding him. And the wonderful thing about this president is that he is not afraid. While all this is going on out on the streets, he is focused on what he promised the
Oh,
people
yeah.
of this country. And day by day, he is making a difference.
I agree with that 100%. Let's talk a little bit about Robert Mueller. He's the special prosecutor. He has been hired by, what's his name, Rothstein, over in the Department of Justice to investigate the Russia/election issue. Now, there's a significant number of people that believe that Robert Mueller is part of a setup led by James Comey and other deep state actors. Uh, President Trump called Mueller's inquiry a witch hunt, which I agree with. I don't know if you agree with it.
Absolutely,
The deep
witch hunt.
state,
Yes.
absolutely. The deep state is a permanent government revolving door careerist that will stop at nothing to take down President Trump before he fulfills his promise to drain the swamp, costing them their jobs and their prestige. What are you thinking?
Firstly, they will not take him down.
Okay,
You know, I say it again, they will not take him down. He is the man for these times. He is a strong man. He is a spiritual man. Everything that he does with heart for this country. So he is the winner, period. We are not
Absolutely.
afraid. As far as Mueller is concerned, yes, I'm not happy with him because
Me
you
either.
cannot be in that position and have a personal relationship with the person who's being investigated, which he has apparently with Comey.
So, in my view, if the president ends up firing him, I'm going to be on the president's side. I think he has ground for that. Mueller's partisan environment makes the probability very high and suspicious. Mueller has hired 13 lawyers, of which most are Democrats, and many served in the Obama administration, such as James Quarles and Jeannie Rhee and others. Mueller is a good friend of Comey's, and while they were attorneys at the Department of Justice in 2004, they both threatened to resign from the office if Bush administration overruled a Department of Justice finding that domestic wiretapping without a court warrant was overruled by Bush. Mueller and Comey are friends, and I don't know. So the thought that Mueller may be leading a pack of people who are hell-bent on bringing down the president just may be true. So if the president fires him, I'm going to be all for that. Now, I wanted you to talk a little bit about what happened in the Virginia primaries. Tell me what happened and what is going on there.
It was so close. And,
Yes.
you know, a lot of people today are, you know, still very emotional about it. Corey Stewart, who I supported, just a great, experienced leader who is not, God isn't finished with him yet.
Yes.
And, you know, because of my faith, I believe he is going to come back at some point. He's going to come back stronger. He's going to come back in a position that will really benefit this country. The timing will be right for him.
Yes.
Why he lost by just 1.15%.
Oh boy.
Yes. It's much easier
Oh,
to.
it was close.
Yes, much
Very
easier to
close.
lose by a large margin than to lose by such a tight margin. So so people are still, you know, feeling their wounds are raw, and things have to settle down a little bit. But Republicans, in the end, will always vote Republican. So it will all work out.
Okay.
And Corey actually, again, it was like a movement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had 150,000 people who voted for him, who were like passionately all in, not just going to vote on that day. And primaries are difficult because it's very difficult to get out the vote. People are not aware that it's happening, or they forget, or whatever. But
Okay.
anyway, the word is that we do hope to turn Virginia red in November.
Yes.
Republicans will vote Republican, and Corey Stewart will live to be a victor another day.
Okay, great. As you know, I'm very fond of Corey Stewart. I think that he would have made a wonderful candidate and a wonderful governor. He is bright, he's brilliant, he's done so many wonderful things for Prince Williams County.
And most of all for such a great
Yes.
supporter of our president.
Absolutely,
Yes.
a great supporter of our president. I hope he's going to be coming on June 24th. Tell us what's going on. You're going to have him there, and is he
Yes.
going to say a few words? I
Well,
hope.
we're keeping it all very tight, but June 25th is going to be a wonderful day of celebration of our president, and so we're going to just have a good time, and it's going to have a little bit of a spiritual aspect, not a prayer service or a prayer rally or anything like that.
Okay.
But we're just going to come together with great joy and great thanksgiving for the president that God has blessed us with at this time. And yes, Corey will be there, and many, many other people. So I hope that the president will be live streaming on Virginia Women for Trump, and I hope the president will be watching and seeing almost 500 women who are there supporting him, dressed to the nines, hopefully wearing hats, having a great time, and showing how much we love and support our president.
Wonderful. Now, yesterday was the president's actual birthday, and so on my Facebook page, I got so many happy birthdays to the president. So I want to take my time and say, happy birthday, Mr. President. We're here, we're supporting you, and you're doing a wonderful job. Keep up the good work. What about that?
Oh, I just want to second that. Happy birthday,
Yes,
President Trump.
happy birthday, Mr. President.
I say happy birthday, President Donald J. Trump.
Absolutely.
We are proud of you, and we are unwavering in our support for you.
And your family.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Beautiful Melania,
Ah,
and Ivanka,
yes.
and Tiffany. And,
Yes, and Jared,
sweet,
and everybody else that they're
yes.
trying to,
And that sweet little boy.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, did you hear that his t-shirt sold out in less than a week? They had a t-shirt with his name on it and it's Barron on there.
Ah.
And they sold out in less than a week. I mean, told like millions of them.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work, President. Stick to your guns. Don't let any of these people get you down. You've got supporters here.
And you have got so many millions of people praying for you constantly, lifting you up in the light. And so I think we will finish with that. We walk in the light, we shine the light forward, and we bless you, Mr. President, and everyone in this country.
Okay, so it's time for us to wrap up now, and I'm going to have Alice give her minute or 2 minutes of inspiration.
Well, I just thought I gave it, but
Oh my goodness, you thought you gave it? Just say anything. Say a Bible verse. Say something that, listen, today has been this has been the crazy week. So we need some inspiration. We need some inspiration. I don't care what you say. Say something inspirational that'll get us through the weekend and the week.
Yes, I will say, when you get on your knees in the morning, forgive everyone, forgive yourself. And then be still and know that I am God. And listen for the whisper of God in your heart. And He's not telling you to go out there and demonstrate. He's not telling you to go out there and make trouble. He's telling you to go out there and love your neighbor. He's telling you that this is a wonderful country. He's telling you that He wants to make this country greater, using the instrument that He has on this earth right now, our president. And each one of us is an instrument of God. He can do nothing without us. He is not up there pulling strings, but He is up there shining the light on us, giving us the power to make a difference. So you, as an individual, if you have that light in your heart and you shine it forth, you can make a difference in this life.
Absolutely.
Yes, whether it's politically or in
Absolutely.
relationships or whatever it is. But positive prayer, positive thoughts, go out there and shine the light.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening and watching us. Reach out and talk to me on Facebook and Twitter. And may God be the glory. Say amen to His majesty and grace.
Amen.